the ICAC has evolved since your departure?
No, not at all.
Why not?
What do you mean, why not? It looks to me like a very sound, efficient operation, as it always has been.
Can you explain furthermore, you said something about Commissioner Simon Pei should not step down because of the Rebecca Lee incident. Can you explain more why he shouldn't step down?
I can't look, I'm not, as I said to you before when I was speaking, it's 20 years since I left Hong Kong. I come back occasionally, but I don't know what is happening in the bowels of the ICAC. How could I? From what I've seen of the press reports, and I get the press reports sent to me every day when I'm in London, I cannot see that he has any cause to step down. If you ask me, should there be a LegCo inquiry, that's entirely for the legislators of LegCo. I can't express a view about that.
But do you think that the demotion of Rebecca Lee was politically...
It's not a demotion. Please understand, I tried to explain that on the panel. It's not a demotion as I understand it. It was an acting appointment. When you are asked to cease the acting appointment, it's not a demotion. Still less is it, as I've heard some people say, getting rid of her. As I understand the position, and I will be corrected if I'm wrong, she chose to resign. That's not being fired, and it's not a demotion. All right?
So do you think the commissioner should have explained more clearly to the public about his decision?
I'm really not in a position to comment about that. He has said, I think quite rightly, that personnel matters are confidential. And so they should be. I'm sure you'd agree. There are things in the ICAC's work that are confidential. Personnel matters, and I'm sure Mr. Wong, the former Secretary for the Civil Service, would agree that these are not matters to be bandied around in the public domain.
You suggest to amend the ICAC ordinance, and so could you tell us why do you think it's the time for us to amend it?
Well, I was making a couple of points about that. First of all, from the beginning, the governor is said in the law to have the power to give orders and directions to the ICAC. That law is still the same. The chief executive can do just that. And the only reason why the ICAC has been able to live up to the independence which is contained in its English title is because, to my knowledge, all previous governors and all previous, and as far as I'm aware, existing chief executives have refrained from using that power that they have in the law. They have refrained from doing so. Now, it seems to me that if you're concerned about the independence of the ICAC, one of the things that you should think about is whether that power to control and direct the ICAC, which was at the beginning a necessity in the view of the then governor, should continue to be the case now, 42 years on. Times have changed. You know how much they've changed. And the point about that is that it's an evolutionary change that must come with changed circumstances. The other thing that I was saying is that the Commissioner himself does not have security of tenure in the law. In most of the countries that I've worked in, which is now more than 50, the law, usually the Constitution, provides for the security of tenure of certain posts. One is usually the Auditor General. Another is the Director of Public Prosecutions. And a third is the head of the anti-corruption body. That doesn't mean to say that he's going to be in the job forever. No. It means, in my view, that he has a fixed term of office, and if the need should arise to get rid of him beforehand because, for example, he falls ill and can't carry out the job, then a special provision, a special procedure is specified in the law before he can be removed. These particular posts, anti-corruption head, Auditor General, Director of Public Prosecutions. This is quite common in all the constitutions that I've seen to provide that security of tenure.
Thank you.
All right?